Okay, final attempt. This is the third time we've tried in like 10 minutes to get this going, and so far Facebook has either kicked me off, it's kicked me off. Tried in like 10 minutes to get this going, and so far Facebook has either kicked me off. That is weird. I just saw myself on another screen. I don't know if this works. It seems like each time I ever try and do something live on Facebook, something crazy happens. And just a moment ago, producer Ryan just went ahead and put this image on the screen, and now something else is popping up. My camera's gonna fall as soon as I do this. If you're hanging on right now, if you're that one person watching, which is probably producer Ryan at this point, because I know he's watching this on a laptop getting ready to share it. Thank you for your time. I wanted to do something fun tonight instead of doing just another show. Jack, thanks. I don't know why this keeps happening. It is so weird. The connection here is actually pretty good because most people in my building are gone, so they're not sucking up the Wi-Fi. Most of them went down to D.C. I know the College Republicans got a giant bus out there. I don't know. People are leaving. People are leaving, which is good because it's quiet. Typically here, I'll hear someone kicking the door, someone, I don't know. We've got this problem where people in my dorm complex like to go around and scream, and I don't really know why. It's around, Ryan, what time is it right now?
9:34.
It's 9:34 Eastern Standard Time. It's probably gonna start. I don't know. It's probably gonna start getting loud kind of soon for the people that did stay behind because their idea is this: everyone else is leaving, so what we're gonna do is while we are typically loud, we're gonna go around and we're gonna be louder and we're gonna scream more, which sucks to be them because I have the campus police on speed dial. Yeah, I am going to throw this out there. If you are a Liberty student who lives on East Campus, there's something called a right-of-way. Now, what the right-of-way is when someone is at a stop sign or something, or when someone's about to make a turn, depending on who got there first and which direction they're going, the right-of-way means that person has the right to go first. I was almost hit several times today because I'll stop a few moments after somebody at, four-way intersection stops, and they wait for me to go. So then you enter this really weird game of let's just slowly creep up and down, and then let's see who goes. And then as soon as I think you're just not going to drive, and I start to take the turn because I've got to be somewhere or else I wouldn't be driving in the first place, then that person decides to gun it. I know a lot of people at Liberty are homeschooled. Producer Ryan was. But here's the thing. Producer Ryan knows how to drive just fine. I don't think a lot of people did. And that's a very negative homeschool stereotype. But sadly, the hills are alive and people don't know how to drive. It's really sad. Well, I have, and let me see if I can find it. Yep. Here it is. Okay. I got a dash cam for Christmas. What do I need a dash cam for? Well, I did consider driving for Uber, but I really just don't have the time or the patience to do so. So with that dash cam, actually, why did I put it down? Here's what I'm going to do. It's basically has a camera, it has a mount, a car charger. I can keep this on all day. And the cool thing about it is typically when I'm out, it's not even necessarily rush hour, and each time I go out in my vehicle, like, okay, here's one incident that happened towards the end of the semester. I was about to go pick up my girlfriend from main campus. For those of you at Liberty or know the Liberty campus, DeMoss. I try and go through the DeMoss parking lot, but you have that crosswalk right there as you're about to enter the parking lot. And I see this kid. He looks like a freshman, but then again, I'm seeing people here who are like 27 that look like they're 12. I'm not hostile towards those people. I'm just saying they look incredibly young. There's something in the water these days. It's like 8th graders look like they're 30 and 30-year-olds look like they're 13. I don't know what's going on. I know I'm not the only one to make that claim. But here it is. I'm turning into the DeMoss parking lot. And this dude is like slowly walking across. and he gets to the middle. He crosses the middle. I'm slowly creeping in. So I'm going around to turn into the parking lot, and by there, he's past it. Now, I know you're supposed to wait until the person actually goes ahead and gets the end of the crossing walk. But if they're about to, get on the sidewalk, it shouldn't matter at that point. This bro literally turns around and jumps in front of my car, and he doesn't look at me. It's like he's looking through me. It's just like, and I'm watching him, and I'm just like, what are you doing? I could have hit you. If it weren't that I was just watching this individual walk for a moment because I felt like something was going to happen, I would have hit him. And that's not the first time. And this dude, he just kind of stood there like, I don't know what I'm doing. There's nothing around me. Yeah, bro, I was about to hit you. That would have been a bad day for both of us. But it gets worse. Not even 2 days later, my dad is in town with my brother and I. And we get dinner. He's about to go home. I think it was right after a softball game. I'm sorry, a volleyball game or a basketball game last semester. And as we're driving past the Vine Center, which is near DeMoss, it's where all the crazy traffic occurs. That and the traffic circle, which is basically a Quentin Tarantino death trap. Coke is not a sponsor. I'm just thirsty. We're about to pass this one crosswalk where if you get to the other side, you can go up a tunnel to the bus stop. And there's nobody there. We checked around to make sure that nobody was going to be at a crosswalk. This girl literally starts running through the tunnel, which is a good 20 or so feet from this crosswalk. And as we're about to go over the crosswalk, she jumps on the road. And she starts waving her hands. And we thought she was trying to get our attention. No, she wanted to play car tag with us. I've got news for you. If you play car tag with the car and you're not in the car, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. Luckily, she was kind of slow. I'm not talking mentally, like physically she was slow. So by the time she got down there, she had that sprint. And she jumps in front of the vehicle. And we start to swerve a little bit. And at that point, it's like, my dad's freaking out. He's like, what's wrong with these people? What's going on? And the stories just continue. I mean, people around here, and I've asked myself if maybe I'm the bad driver, but no. When this is a daily occurrence and I'm seeing people like go around and, do donuts in the parking lot, when I'm seeing people go from like 0 to 60 up a short strip of road to make a turn, it's absolutely ridiculous. And what I really hate is when I'm in my parking lot behind my building, and as I'm backing out, people that notice me, they could be like 30 feet away from me. They see me back out in good enough time, and a normal person would stop. Not these people. There's a dude in a blue Camaro, and if you're watching this and you're in my building, you drive the blue Camaro, I mean every word I said. You should have your license revoked instantly. I'm going to call the cops on you one day, because I pull out, you see me, we've got more than enough time to actually, like, I don't know, let me pull out and go, or maybe I'll stop for you if I see you're closer or something, and it just makes sense. Normal people stuff, what normal drivers go through. Instead, no, gun it, nearly take out the back of my car. And I had something like this happen recently, and it wasn't here in Lynchburg, it was actually while I was at home for Christmas in Fairfax County. And as I'm at a stoplight with my mother, and there are 4 cars in front of me, this woman drives straight to the back of my car. Luckily, my mom drives a Trailblazer, giant beast of a truck. But, this little car, I mean, our truck was, in terms of just like physical damage, but, we had some scrapes and stuff, but this car looked like it got beat up by the Batmobile by the time it hit us. And what was their answer? It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. We didn't mean it. There's a reason why cops no longer use the term car accident. They call it vehicular collision, because there is no accident. Everything behind the wheel of a vehicle is intentional. It's just like gun crime. There's no such thing as an accidental shooting. There's no such thing as an accidental discharge. Notice how when there are instances where something just crazy happens with a firearm. They the left likes to go crazy with this. They always try and say, "Oh, we need more gun control and all this other stuff." But when it comes to a car accident, typically, especially if it's a teen and the damage wasn't too crazy, it's like, oh, it was just an accident. Accidents happen. I think it's because cars are more common, and people who shouldn't be behind the wheel of a vehicle end up just getting behind the wheel of a vehicle, and because they shouldn't have been in the first place, they go out and they do something stupid. So what's the point of this all? I really have no clue how this rant started. Oh yeah, everyone online is either flipping out or they're having fun getting ready for tomorrow. And I've already talked about this at length. If you tuned into Wednesday's episode with my friend Nick Hamilton, we talked about this. If you were online yesterday or you want to stop by my page now, you'll see I published a little note, a little, my wishes for the country and for the president and for people that didn't vote for Trump, primarily Hillary supporters. And it's, in my mind, it's already done. There's nothing, we should do nothing more than just wake up tomorrow, have fun, go about our daily lives, watch the inauguration because it is a historic event, whether you want to accept it or not. It's just how it is. Let's just celebrate that we're not like most countries where by now there would have been a vicious military coup. Let's celebrate the fact that we're not like most countries where this election would have lasted another couple of years because we're still counting the votes or something else. Let's be glad that on January 21st, we're not going to have anyone, trying to start some type of crazy insurrection. There are going to be people complaining. Yeah, there were people complaining when Bush became president. There are people complaining about everything. Complainers are going to complain. It's just what they do. Haters are going to hate. Nothing's going to change. You can't change it. I will say this, though, and I'm kind of backpacking off my friend Jason Stapleton from the Jason Stapleton program. I was watching his recent episode, and he discussed the dude that tried to set himself on fire in front of Trump Tower. And no, this is not a political spin on anything. This is just a fact. That dude failed to set himself on fire. If you're going to do it, do it. And I got to click something on the screen. I apologize. If you're going to do it, I mean, it's like that. What was it, a stunt? I really don't know. I mean, it's stupid. Oh, I'm angry at something, so I'm going to hurt myself. It's like, that's just stupid. I know nothing about that case. I'm glad that he's safe. I'm glad that he's safe. So glad that he's safe because I don't want harm on anyone. I want everyone to be fine. If you're going to protest, don't do something stupid. It's like all these people that were going to go over the summer and they were going to block intersections of human chains. Why are you going after just regular people that have nothing to do with the situation? It's to raise awareness. That's not how you win friends and influence people. I don't think Dale Carnegie went outside and said, now's a good day to start a human chain link fence across I-95. No, that's stupid. S-T-U-P-I-D. That is stupid. This can either be something that we learn from, or this could be something that just turns into everything else. I remember in 2008 when Obama won, I was in 8th grade, sitting in my AP Civics class, because at one point in my life I was considered kind of smart. And this is after I had been homeschooled for half 6th grade and 7th grade. I was in 8th grade for public school in Fairfax County. And at the time, my parents didn't vote for Obama. That's not a secret. That's a fact. I didn't necessarily want to be president. I didn't necessarily care at the time. I was just a kid. Everyone just kind of picks the sides of their parents at the time. And I remember looking around at my class, and I said, I hope President Obama succeeds. I hope he does. I hope he succeeds. because when your president succeeds in doing good things for the country, it ultimately trickles down to us. And like I said about the haters, they jump in because they can't have civil conversation. Haters can't have civil conversation. They jump in. It's like, oh, now you're trying to be on our side since Obama won, and they just scream and shout and everything else like it's just another football game and the home team won and woo, and it's just that. And even back then, I understood that we shouldn't constantly try and pick fights with people. And I pick fights with people now and again because I'm scrappy like that and all that jazz. But here's the thing. When it comes to our country, when you want to be proven right in terms of bad things happening, that's not good. That's not good. For people that had negative projections about what could possibly occur with the Trump administration, here's the thing. I want them to be wrong. While there are some things that concern me, I really hope that things go right. Because we already saw what happens when we have an executive branch that either doesn't do what it's supposed to do or it overexceeds its power. And back then, I even was like, okay, you know what? Obama said this about civil liberties. Obama said this about coming together as a nation. Obama said this about foreign intervention. I've never been a progressive. I've never voted Democrat. When I was old enough to vote in 2012, I can certainly tell you it was not in the direction of Barack Obama. But on January 20th, 2009, no one wanted President Obama to succeed more than I did. I did. I wanted President Obama to succeed because after everything back then, I knew that eventually, if things got worse, if things got progressively much worse, it would have gone disastrously. And just like so many people said, things did get worse. He betrayed everything. And I can go on and bash Obama. I can go on and talk about TARP. I can go ahead and talk about Benghazi. I can go ahead and talk about Cash for Clunkers. I can go ahead and talk about Chicago. I can go ahead and talk about Fast and Furious. I can talk about Grubergate. I can talk about letting Bill Ayers in the White House. I could talk about that Puerto Rican terrorist that he let out of jail the other day. I could talk about Bo Bergdahl. I could talk about Brad Manning. I could talk about so much. I could just cover 1 year alone, and it would take me probably hours and hours and hours to go through everything that he failed to do and everything he lied about and everything he did negatively as president. But here's my prayer for Barack Obama. Just as George Bush did, respect your successor, pray for your successor, and just like other past presidents, unless you're Bill Clinton or Ford, notice how it's just Democrats. Just a side note. Please allow him to govern the way that he needs to govern. When he makes a mistake, be silent. When he does something successful that even you disagree with, be silent or support him. But this current plan to stay in Washington, D.C. and just continue to advocate and not go away, if you genuinely want to heal America, that's not how you're going to do it. Because all it will do is it will perpetrate the rage, it will grow the hatred, and it will continue to do nothing but cause everything to go the way it's going. Unless that is your goal. I don't know. I may think I know somebody, but unless I know them, I don't know. I think I know Barack Obama, but while his actions say one thing, his mindset could be completely different from me. We come from two different schools of thought. Donald Trump and I come from two different schools of thought, too. But my prayer for Barack Obama is to go love your daughters, love your wife. Has anyone seen their dogs? Ryan, are their dogs alive? Google that or something. But go love your family. Go start up a charity. Go do something. Go actually, I gotta click another screen on here. Go actually do something good. Go be this great humanitarian. Use your celebrity for something amazing. Don't be like the Clintons and take a whole bunch of money for hurricane, that hurricane that hit Haiti, and use it to send Bill to an island with a bunch of child hookers. Don't do that. Go actually like help inner city kids. Start a scholarship. Join a band. I don't care. Please move on. At least do something good. I'm praying. I'm pleading. I'm hoping. President Obama, please go do something good. You could totally do that. You could totally do that. Spend the rest of your days. Thanks, Albert. I appreciate it. Spend the rest of your days going out and being the person people want you to think. And maybe, just maybe, you can go ahead and start that conversation now, since you'll have a lot more time on your hands than you did as president while you were playing golf with Tiger Woods and hanging out with Taylor Swift and everyone else. And while you're at it, please take Valerie Jarrett with you. Far, far, far away from the White House or anybody. Take her to an island. I don't care. Get that woman away from everyone. So please, President Obama, I'm praying. Have a happy life. Have a safe life. And go do something good for other people if you can. But please, don't try and make things more turbulent than they are. It's just not going... It's not going to help anyone. Unless you don't want to help anyone. Oh my gosh, Remso just put like a no-win scenario there. It's like, yeah, that's because it can only mean one thing or another. It's like Wolf Blitzer on CNN just randomly saying, you know, if something were to happen to Trump before he swears in, the president could potentially stay in. Crickets, crickets. Wolf Blitzer, what the hell? That had nothing to do with your story. That is just downright liberal bias. You wonder why the mainstream media constantly gets that term thrown around? It's because that's how it is. It's like when Rachel Maddow the other night literally praised certain executive actions aggressing foreign policy towards Russia, when if you had just switched the names from Obama to Bush, if it were Bush, she would have been screaming and crying. She would have needed a safe space. But no, it's constantly different. The left and its maliciousness, the left and its ability to go around and just completely play these mental gymnastics, it's so, like, it's beyond Chris Matthews level. It's absolutely insane. And the right does it too. The right does it too. Which leads me to what I want to finish off with for tonight. There's a constant vilification of everybody. And I'll be the first to admit that some people are just downright evil. Remso, you can't say that. That's a very serious claim. Yeah, I could say it. I just said it. I mean, facts are facts. But we live in a time where it's very easy to go ahead and attack people because it's just so easy, especially when you don't have to do it face-to-face. People aren't even texting their thoughts to each other. They're just posting it on the Twitter or whatever the kids are calling it. But it really makes no sense. It's so easy to be mean. But one thing I've noticed, even in my own life, just attempting to try and become a better person every day, is that it is difficult to be nicer about certain things. Let's all try and be better. Let's try and be better. Have a safe weekend. Be awesome. Tune in next week for next week's episode and take care.